And one thing that you're an expert on, right, is how to use technology in a business and essentially making technology a core part of your startup. What is your high-level advice when it comes to what kind of businesses are you advising? What sort of technology are you recommending? How are they using it, or how aren't they using technology? What does that look like?
Yeah, it's interesting because it's a very similar problem. Like everybody goes and signs up for all these apps and doesn't know how they talk to each other, work together. They don't understand security implications or privacy implications with AI tools now. And then they're kind of lost with like, oh, I've got like 50 subscriptions. None of them talk to each other. I really need to like go back to the basics and really look at everything and have a strategy. And that's, most people are missing that step is like, how do you get that strategy to look at all your tools and why you're using them? I've built a technology foundation checklist that is sort of the bottom level of that strategy. And I've also built what I call like a technology hierarchy. And so you really need to build on a foundation and then you need to create that strategy with that foundation. So the foundational things of technology are, believe it or not, like hardware. Do you have a good computer? Like amazing how many people don't. You don't have a great laptop. Some people have desktops still, and I'm like, why? Like, unless you're a designer and you need the horsepower, like just get something mobile, right? Some people have both. They have a desktop at their office and they got a laptop at home. I'm like, that's crazy. Just have one device.
Why do you think that's important to get a good computer? Most people are like, my computer works. It pulls up a website. Why do I need something better?
So number one, typically security. If you have a 5 or 6 year old computer, it's not secure anymore. It's running Windows 10 or Windows 7, and there's just those things. And then the thing too with computers is over time they slow down because you're upgrading the software on them, and you don't realize it because you just get used to the speed of it, right? And then you go get a new computer and you spend $3,000 on it to get a brand new MacBook Pro with an M2 chip or M3 chip, and you're like, this thing's so fast, oh my god. And then you realize like, and nobody kind of connects the dots like, wow, I've had that gap of a slow computer to now a fast computer for like a year and a half at least, or 2 years. It's like, how much more could I have like done and had free time just to sit and enjoy a drink on the patio if I had a faster computer, right? And so the tools that we're using is just like, you just have a better drill to be quicker and do your job faster, right? And that compounds over that life of that device, right? So that's why, like for my team, they get the best computer, and we get rid of it every 2-3 years, and we get a new one and we upgrade. And it's not because we've got all the money to spend; we just value performance. And so then, like the next step on that hierarchy is really security. So physical devices play a part of security, but then there's a ton more that plays a part of security. A lot of companies, they just go buy all these subscriptions. Their COO sets it up and creates users and buys computers from Apple or Microsoft and sets their new users up, and they think they have security. And then I ask them 3 or 4 questions and they're like, oh, there's a lot that I didn't know that I need. And the fact that, I'm on Microsoft or I'm on Google, I thought it was just secure. I put my credit card in and they said I have email now. Like, is it not just secure? No, it's the opposite. The basic configuration of most tools is the least secure because they want to enable adoption. They want you to get logged in.
Right. They want to make it as easy as possible to use right off the bat. And so that usually unfortunately, there's a trade-off in many cases with security and ease of use.
Yeah, and it's getting better now. Like with MFA, it's getting smarter, and it's just like pops up on your phone, you hit approve, you're good, right? And that's the thing. So security is really that next level, and a lot of owners and business leaders don't really know. They think they're secure. It's kind of like this blind ignorance. And then they just like 5 questions and they're like, whoa, I'm missing a lot of significant things. Cool. And so then they can start to consider those things. So I created the technology foundation checklist that you can link to, so that people can go through with their team or with their IT company or person and say, do we have these things? And it's really, I kind of distilled it down into easily understandable language, but it's based on the CIS framework, which is the Center for Information Security framework, very well known and respected. And so, but that checklist is just like the step 1 of that framework. There's a lot more if you need compliance, if you're finance or if you're healthcare or something like that. So then you get security. So now you've got the 2 base levels, and there's 6 more. And I can share that hierarchy with you. But the next ones are around getting a culture of innovation, right? Because, if you're a company and people are afraid that AI is going to take their job, you're not innovating, you're not automating, you're not getting rid of manual processes that take time, that ensure that they have a job tomorrow. So you really need to dial that in. And a lot of that goes back to the vision of the leader and saying, hey, we're growing here. And if you can save half of your week with automation, now you can do more important things, right? But if you don't tell that story as a leader, or if you can't because you don't have that vision, your people are just going to be scared.